my civilian name is Reyna Mora, but my married name is Reyna. And I don't use it because every time I talk to people, it's like, no, really, what's your first name? No, well, what's your last name? Yes, and it's spelled exactly the same. My position, I'm a student here at USC, and I just transferred out here from Loma Linda because my emphasis is military studies. That's the population I want to work with. I'm a Marine Corps mom and a Marine Corps spouse. My husband's been in the Marine Corps 25 years, and my son's been in the Marine Corps going on 2 years.
Do you think there's a difference between, and I guess it's different here at Camp Pendleton, but a difference between base schools versus public schools?
The resources and support. Right now, I'm like on a quest. I'm on a mission to get the programs that are aboard Camp Pendleton out to the outskirts where we live. We live about an hour from Camp Pendleton, an hour north. And the military community is so large, the need is there. But it's just the principals and, the teachers are like, yeah, I know we have a big community. And, well, if we have a need, now we know there's resources. And no, you have to be proactive. Why are you going to try and put something together when we find out that we had a loss and now we have 3 children that have lost their father? Why start something then when we can start building up the resiliency? We can start, providing the resources and workshops and, hey, you know what, this is possible. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Why would you wait when we can start it now? And that's what my challenge is right now because, there's no time. So now here's my spiel. If you didn't have to pay anyone to come and do this and someone came in and organized it and it was all free, where could we have, the gathering or when could we meet? How can you say no? It's not going to cost you anything.
It's only going to improve it.
It's only, it's only, and the big thing is, right now with the scores and the kids have, they have to have all these high scores and the schools are rated based on the children's scores. And what my last seed to the superintendent was, I've been getting a lot of, more and more families are knowing about what I've done. So when they have issues with their kids or they have issues with the school, I heard that you did and and I'm like, okay, bring it, and we'll try and figure it out. So I brought it to the superintendent and I said, how can the kids focus on their testing when they're so preoccupied with what's going on at home? They don't know exactly what everything, breakdown of what it entails, but they see mom that's stressed out. They see dad's gone. They get a feel of, what's going on in the atmosphere at home and, the dynamics, maybe if they just got back. I said, so how can a child seriously focus and how can we expect them to focus on their academics when their life is falling apart? It's just not humanly possible.
Fix that first before they can.
Seriously?
Can start their education.
They could care less about, the stupid test tomorrow if, mom and dad have been fighting all night. Seriously? They're really going to focus?
Yeah.
No.
Is there, there's so much change in a military child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some way that we can make a constant in school? So no matter what school they go to, there's some kind of similar aspect, something that they can rely on or something. What do you think that could be? Or how can we find a constant in the schools?
What I found with my kids, when they see or they meet other kids that their dads are deployed or their dads are in the service, it makes the biggest difference. And it's funny, I can just think of my 7-year-old. We went to a unit function. We try and get together, but we have to go to the base to do it. And the first time that he realized, he talked to someone, some of the kids or whatever, and he comes and he goes, Mom, you would never, his dad is deployed too. And I'm like, yeah, we're all deployed here, son. To me, and I just thought it was so funny because for him, it was like, I'm not the only one. And I think that when we live, off base, when they talk to kids that their parents are in the service as well, it gives them that sense of, hey, you understand what it's like. So just to find a common ground, or somewhere where they can come and talk, or the parents could come and talk and share stories, or experiences, or issues maybe that they're having, or challenges that they need to overcome, and having someone relate to them, that's just priceless.
Yeah, it gives them a sense of home.
I'm not weird. I'm really not weird. There's other people like me.
You probably go through the exact same process. Yeah. What are you familiar with any of the initiatives that are or programs that are targeted to help military dependent children?
Very. I'm the chapter director for Blue Star Families aboard Camp Pendleton, and our mission is to empower, educate, and support military families. But the big thing is empowering them to be resilient and to, sustain the lifestyle, and educating the civilian sector to the challenges that we have to, go through. And I honestly feel that through education, everyone will benefit. But it's a struggle, just talking to people and breaking it down, so where it's simple, that it's so simple that, it's stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
But, that's just the way we have to approach it. I'm constantly doing research on programs that are available, and I sign my kids up and myself up to everything, because that's the only way that I can talk about it, and I can, notice the difference in my kids. Okay, yeah, this one worked. Yeah, this one was, yeah, okay, whatever. That was just something to do. And my kids now get to the point where they'll tell me, I really like this, or yeah, this was stupid, Mom. Really, why, really,
Yeah.
And for one, that I just learned about is Camp Cope. And they came out, we did a training out in Camp Pendleton, and my 15-year-old was so impressed with this workshop. That was the first time in years that she was really excited, and she really liked, the whole dynamics and how that group was broken down. She took the facilitator's phone number, and, that they're still in communication, and I'm like, really? She goes, Mom, it was just so way cool. I'm like, okay, if you say so. So there's getting to know what the programs, that are available.
Yeah. How do you think the public education has responded to the needs of military dependent children?
Not enough. Not enough.
Yeah.
Just in our groups that we had yesterday, it was funny. It was funny and it wasn't funny, but it was so surreal. We go into conversations with teachers and, just educators and administrators on different situations, and they're so oblivious to what really goes on. They don't understand that a child that has a dad constantly gone, and that does not have that consistency, does not have that constant male and female, or just whatever parental guidance, how it affects them, and how it comes out on or it expresses through their drawings, or through their conversations, or through their play with other kids, or they might show anger towards this child because that child always has his mom and dad, always, and it's like they don't know how to express that, but yet he has anger issues. Really or he's failing academically. Really, what's going on for that kid? What has he seen? What has he not seen? What does he hear? But no one takes on to that next level. And I've met with and I felt bad afterwards. I did, but it just triggered me the wrong way. The counselors at the school, And it's a new program that they started, which is supposedly some bridge, something, helping kids in general. But what really just tweaked me the wrong way is military families have a lot of resources. How can we bring those resources to help all of our children? And I said, well, how about focusing on the military children since they have the resources? Yeah, and they just looked at me like, well, I said, I know everybody has issues. I'm aware of that. But for me, my kids and my military kids, and by that I mean all military kids, those are my number one concern. And until all of you understand what they go through and what we experience, I could really care less about all the other issues. I mean, really? Because it's easy to label a child. It's easy to say, hey, you have ADHD, or your son has a depression, or he's, what's the big thing? He's autistic, or, really? Let's dig a little bit further. He has a developmental issue. What has this child experienced in the last, 3-4 years? My two youngest kids, they're on their 3rd deployment in the last 5 years. You wouldn't know it. I mean, that has to do with the way that we handle things and the way that, this is it. This is what we're going to go through, and this is what we're going to do while he's gone. And, let's make a plan, and we have an agenda. I don't give them time to think. They don't watch the news. We read, we, talk about their day. We have, our meals every night, regardless of what time we, finish. I'm starving. Too bad everybody's not here. We have our sit down, but we have to maintain, and that's how the kids react based on their parents' outlook. If I'm falling apart, and trust me, I've done that. I've every possible thing, and they notice. They pick it up. They react. They feed off of our energy. So for me, that's constantly, okay, what's my mood like today? And that's going to be indicative of how this day's going to go. So you better, go in the bathroom and cry, or, get in the closet and hit something, or whatever it is. But, that's going to trigger everybody else's the whole day.
Yeah.
So educating the parents, that's my other mission on how, what you do and what, you don't do. The kids pick up on that.
Yeah. My last question. What do you hope yourself to get out of this workshop? And what do you hope that the other students and interns that maybe don't have military background get out of this workshop?
What I hope to get out of this workshop is the proper verbiage. Because I'm out doing and meeting people, and because I have so much personal experience, I try, and it's very hard to be inclusive and to open, not to be so tunnel vision where it's like, how can you not see the issues, So the proper verbiage, that's what I'm hoping to get out of the workshop. For the other students that that are not familiar with really anything, I hope they get some awareness